Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers of Great Millstone, Charlotte, coming at you again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, back with another lesson. Lord willing, let's be edifying. But before we get started, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. To you we say shalom.
Shalom.
So in this lesson, we got a couple articles we want to bring out. Mainly this one from RT News that caught my attention, whenever I was scrolling through it. But pretty much it says Trump calls for getting rid of nuclear weapons. Right? Now, for your common peon, your common American, they'll see this as a sign of things coming back to normalcy. Things, I guess they could say a step in the right direction, right, for them, because this is like what it says in the scriptures of peace and safety. Baba Kushai, you mind getting that?
Khan.
Because as we see right here, Trump is speaking big words, and he's only been like, what, this is the third month or almost his third month in presidency, and he's still, he's moving. This man is moving quick. Operation Warp Speed, man. The first week in office, he already had like so many executive orders. He continues to make news headlines every goddamn day, man. Right? And, this is just another thing that he's thrown out there for the people in hopes of peace and safety. But you go ahead.
Khan. Want me to start from the top?
Khan.
Khan, this is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, subtitle, The Day of the Lord. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
You can break it down, Ak.
Khan. You say you want me to go into it?
Yeah, you can break it down. Then when it gets to that point, I'll break it down.
Khan. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, it says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. See, because it says that because, got scriptures like 2nd Ezra chapter 9. All right. Measure thou the time diligently in itself. All right. Isaiah 62 verse 6. I've said watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. All right. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. I was saying upon my watch and set me upon the tower, roughly paraphrasing, because these are the jobs of a watchman, you see. So the true brethren will be in the spirit of watching, watching, praying, and essentially, doing our job to, guide the flock, through the spirit. So it says, ye have no need that I write unto you, see, because that's what the prophet, the true man of the Lord will be doing. So it says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And that's ultimately, a reiteration to watch, because we're staying ready so that we don't have to get ready. So it says, verse 3. You about to say something?
No, yeah, I wanted to add to your point, because excuse me. I just wanted to add to your point because, it's all about knowing what times you're living in. And when you know what times you're living in, you'll understand. And when you correlate with prophecy, like it says, like you mentioned, 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, right? Measure the time diligently within itself, right? So when you're measuring the times, you gotta know you're measuring the times to, you're measuring what's going on around the world with prophecy. You're measuring it out, right? Knowing where you are in prophecy. And where we're at in prophecy, we understand that we're in the times of the end. So this thing of Trump talking about getting rid of the nuclear weapons, getting rid of nuclear warheads, all this is fake news, man. It ain't gonna happen, right? The Most High's will and determination is to gather the nations to bring them to war, right? But you can go ahead, bro.
Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as a travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right, peace and safety, right? Isn't that what Donald Trump is promising you, you people, you Americans? Peace and safety, right? Wealth, prosperity, the golden age, golden era, right? So, but we understand that's not what's written in prophecy. As a matter of fact, it's the contrary. It's the complete opposite, right? In the book of Ezekiel, what is it? The seventh chapter. It says evils upon evils,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's all that's coming to America, man. Ain't no peace, ain't no prosperity. This place is on its way out. America had its golden age. America had its time to shine. Its peak, and now it's on its decline. Right? Every kingdom has its chance, and now America had its chance, and now it's on its way out. Right? This man has to go out. This man is unfit for rulership. We see how this man conducts himself and how uh, uh, all these damn what they call it foreign policies and laws and legislation that he's pushing. Man, this is all about forwarding the agenda of the top elite, so they can have full dominion over the earth. That NWO, one world order, right? Which doesn't include you, Jakes. But they're going to try to do this in the form of bringing about this war, and ultimately, this is the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. So again, this whole Trump cause for getting rid of nuclear weapons, this is uh, 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 this is not going to come to pass. It's not going to be fulfilled. And even if they do try to make a deal, the scriptures talk about in Obadiah, the first chapter. As a matter of fact, let me get that.
I get it for you.
Obadiah 1, and go to the part where it says they have laid a snare under thee, or a wound under thee,
Khan.
all the men of that confederacy.
Khan. This is Obadiah Ibadiah 1 and verse 7. It says, all the men of that confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Mm-hmm. So we understand that, hey, if this does come to pass, if they do make a deal to try to get rid of nuclear weapons, and that really, it's all they're really going to supplant America. You know what I'm saying? Because we understand, all these other countries, man, they hate America, and Trump is making more enemies out of his own allies. You got the this tariffs, that Trump imposed on Mexico, on Canada. Now Canada's over here talking crazy, man. Talking about cutting off the electricity to the United States, cutting off a certain what they call, like something certain like Ford. I think it was like some kind of car dealerships or something like that. But a lot of business is gonna get cut. And Canada is pretty much one of United States pretty much major traders. They trade
Mm-hmm.
back and forth with each other. Mexico, another major trade country another country that they do major trade with. So start to best believe you're gonna start seeing things get more and more riled up. Especially with these nations, and especially America's allies. America soon is going to be left alone. So what are they going to use? They're going to have to start making nuclear weapons to defend themselves. You know. So again, this article, man, doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I had a precept if I can.
Khan, you got it.
This is Ezekiel chapter 21, and we'll give verse 9. It says, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord. Excuse me. It says, Thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contamineth the rod of my son as every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. And ultimately, the ICBM nukes are made to ultimately, be used. It's not just being used, to put it up in a museum, So, Jake, while these is being made, Jake is in the spirit of partying and bullshitting and whatever type of lifestyle they're into, you see. But ultimately, those that are in aware of geopolitics are ultimately understand where this country or where the world is going, and that's ultimately going towards those nukes being shot off. All right, because again, they aren't made just to look good. If you got a sword, you're not sharpening it just to for it to sit pretty on your wall. Ultimately, we're in a time of war. You see, so that sword is going to be used.
That's
And which the
right.
sword again is a similar to for the ICBM nukes.
Gone, gone. I got this as well. This is Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy." You see? So ultimately, the Most High is the one that put it in the minds of these scientists, Esau scientists, right? Starting with what's his name, Robert Oppenheimer, that created the atomic bomb. But now with the process of time, they made advancements into it. So now you have nuclear weapons, which are like, I can't even tell you how much more times powerful they are than atomic bombs, but they pretty much make the atomic bombs look minuscule with the kind of power that they have now. They're talking about how one bomb, one nuclear warhead can pretty much take out a whole entire city, like all of New York, all of New York City.
Right. They shown us an example of that, and it was the movie with Oppenheimer. They
Yeah.
have they tested the atomic bomb, and that was something that could be seen. It kind of blew everybody away, But scriptures say in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 4 that knowledge shall be increased. So we can only fathom or we can't fathom. We can only imagine. How much destruction a nuclear arsenal is going to do. You know.
Hmm. Exactly. But like we said, these weapons are going to be used, and they're going to be used soon, right? We're seeing, like I said, we're measuring the times. We know what times we're living in. You have the prophets out here. We're in the time of the end, and the Most High has said, hey, the Most High's word is not going to return to him void, as the Scripture says. You know, so the Most High is going to stand on His word, and it's going to be fulfilled, right? So we're going to see the nuclear warhead shut off. We're going to see World War III. We're going to see all these things, these escalations that we're seeing right now is going to continue to escalate, right? But let me read a little bit into this article. It says U.S. President Donald Trump has said all countries should abandon nuclear weapons instead of engaging in an arms race. It says it'd be great if everybody would get rid of their nuclear weapons, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office on Thursday, according to Anadolu. It says Russia and us have by far the most. China will have an equal amount within 4 or 5 years, and it would be great if we could all denuclearize. So I don't know what it is. Maybe Trump's getting cold feet, but hey, they understand where things is headed. They understand that World War III will come to pass, right? You had one thing that comes to mind is that one like argument that Trump had with Zelensky, right? When Zelensky told him, it's like, you know, uh, uh, y'all good now, but wait until later. That ocean ain't gonna protect y'all. Pretty much is what he said, right? Because they understand that there's such things of ICBM missiles. They understand they have hypersonic missiles. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump even said it out of his own mouth that they're working on super hypersonic missiles, right? So what the hell is this?
He's just trying to offset prophecy. Like America has always, tried to play, big brother for the rest of the world. They say, oh, they got weapons of mass destruction whole time. That's what America has. So they just trying to, have one up. They're trying to regain that eminence that they once had.
Hmm. Exactly. But it says, let me read a little bit more. It says, and it would be great if we could all denuclearize, because the power of nuclear weapons is crazy. It's crazy. It says, and it is crazy. I mean, just imagine having that type of power. This man, this damn devil, has the power to just, with a push of a button, to just destroy an entire fucking state or destroy an entire fucking country if he wishes. That shit is, man. That shit is crazy, man. But it says, I would very much like to start those talks, Trump added. The nuclearization would be incredible. But like he said, they're trying to really offset prophecy, you know. And even then, you had what's his name, President Putin from Russia. He pretty much mentioned if a nuclear war happens, there would be no winner. They were saying the next war will be fought with sticks and stones. And they understand that it'll be the end of their system, the end of their kingdom. You gonna say something, Mark?
La.
Khan? I'm gonna read a little bit more. It says last month Trump argued that a nuclear arms race will be wasteful, and that the U.S. has no reason to build new weapons. Yeah, they do. They have a lot of reasons to. Right? Again, this is I don't know what this guy's saying, man. But it says we're all spending a lot of money that we could be spending on other things that are actually, hopefully, much more productive. So again, this is him pushing that peace and safety, right? That I'm here to make things right. I'm here to fix things. I'm here to bring peace. But that's not the case. His actions speak otherwise, man. This man has already started an economic war. Economic wars lead to real wars. And we're just getting started, man. This is the third month of the year. And shit is already getting hot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is getting every day, man. Every week that goes by is getting more and more intense. But it says the comments came amid tensions between Russia and NATO, as well as Trump's trade war with China. In a speech earlier this week, French President Emmanuel Macron labeled Russia a threat to France and Europe and suggested that France could extend its nuclear umbrella to protect other EU member states. The Kremlin has condemned his words as highly confrontational. So again, hey, even these NATO countries, hey, they're preparing for war. They're preparing to protect their allies. Russia is preparing to, go to war. China's prepared to go to war. As a matter of fact, I made a video just yesterday going into how China is saying that they're prepared to go into any kind of war with the United States. What do you think that means? Right now, that's pretty much it on this. Let me get that precept. Baba Kushai, you might get in Joel 3,
Khan.
and we'll start at verse 9.
Khan. This is Joel Yahweh Allah, chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And which, if I could mention, it says, it says, let me get this in NLT. It says, NLT, Joel 3 and 9, it says, say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war, call out your best warriors, let all your fighting men advance for the attack. So that's essentially, what's going on. It's been going on for a couple years now, so these nations have been amping up and getting ready for war. So we see nations like China. All right, China, has been amping up. They're making militaristic advancement. All right. Also, I believe North Korea, like a couple years ago, they said something about having like more than 1 million troops. You also have Russia. They were second behind the U.S. You see, but most recently, Putin has been using some bold words. He's not using those bold words in vain. Because ultimately they're making militaristic advancements as well. Because the scriptures, pursuant to the scriptures, it mentions how Russia is that bear and essentially acts as a guardian to the other nations. So that's essentially what's taking place. The other nations are amping up for war. They're doing battle tactics. We see the Americas doing little training drills and stuff like that, but it's not as much as what they have going on in the Eastern Hemisphere. They have a spirit right now of war. You see, one time they had, I think it was maybe like 3 years ago, but it was to where it was you had the little Edomite, she was a lieutenant, in the army, or I think it was the Air Force, something like that.
Hmm.
Her American dream was to go to school. She went to school, did ROTC, she commissioned, she graduated and stuff like that. And that was her dream. Then it went over. I think it was either China or Russia. It was like they just only thing they had on their mind from youth up was they wanted to enlist into the military, and they just wanted to destroy America. And that's just the
Oh.
mindset. That's just the mindset of the people in these other countries.
Hmm.
America's already as a youth. America. Everybody's already divided. So everybody joins for different reasons. You see, whereas these other countries, they join to ultimately serve their country, and then also for their hate of America. You see, so we understand and we can see, the ideologies that's driving, these other nations, and ultimately it shows that their hatred and how much they hate this place, and it shows that the intensity that they're coming with, ultimately um, they're gonna destroy America, and that's what's on their mind, So going back to Ezekiel 21, all right, with the ICBMs, all right, the sword isn't being sharpened, all right, and furbished to just sit there, So the talks of peace and safety, hey, it's not working on anybody other than those that's in America, because that's what they want to hear. It's just rocking the people back asleep, you know.
Right. Right. Exactly. And you mentioned, these nations, they're up in their defense budget. I got this right here. This is from AP News. It says China will increase its defense budget 7.2% this year, and that's a big jump.
Hmm.
7.2%. That's a lot.
Right,
And this was March 5th, so this was just a couple days ago that they announced this.
right, and
Right.
as it's a lot.
Oh, no, you go ahead, bro.
And as these things are going on, that's what America's pushing out. 'Cause they don't want people to know the times that we headed into. Because what has America always benefited off of? Nahum the third chapter. The mistress of witchcrafts.
Mm.
So they're trying to pump out that ideology that, hey, we don't have to do this. Don't get the weapons of mass destruction. Don't do this. Don't do that. Everything's good. It's going back to normal. That's what they're
Hmm.
trying to push out.
Hmm. Exactly. You know,
Did you want me?
uh, yeah. Finish that out.
Con,
We down to
back
12, for sure.
con, back to Joel 3 and verse 11. It says, "Assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened, and come up to the valley of Yahweh. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about."
Right, and that's what we're seeing, man. The Most High is gathering all these nations together: China, Russia, North Korea. Uh, shit, you got, like I said, you even got America's allies rounding themselves up. Starting to get bitter against America. Canada, some of these NATO countries. Right now that Trump is in office, a lot of these NATO countries don't really they don't really they don't really fuck with Trump like that. They don't like him, and this man's over here trying to get them to spend more money, invest more money. This and that. America has always been, over here trying to force other countries to do its bidding, right? And these countries are pretty much they're done with America. They're tired of being under his thumb. They're tired of being, uh, uh, subjugated into doing things and then end up facing the repercussions of America's own actions or America's decisions. You know, you had Germany. Germany is going through a lot of turmoil because of that Nord Stream pipeline and certain foreign policies that America instituted, and now its people is going through a lot of financial straits. So and it's going to continue to ramp up even more. Like I said, with the tariffs that Esau is trying to Trump is trying to implement or has implemented, and who knows what's going to come more down the line, right? But again, just going back to this article, pretty much, I ain't gonna really read into it that much. I'm just gonna skip down because it says a 7.2 budget increase, but it says the budget, which adds up to about 245 billion, was announced at the National People's Congress, the annual meeting of China's legislature. So an increase of $245 billion will be added into the military budget. That's a lot of money. And then I also got this article just real quick. It says the GOP defense leaders pushing $1 trillion Pentagon budget. So again, this is this we can see where things is headed. Things is headed to war, man. Things is headed to uh 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 to battle, man. They're plowing those those plowshares into pruning hooks, right? How did it go? The plowshares into pruning hooks, and your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears, and we're seeing that. No more are they focusing on agriculture, because look what happened, man. All the damn agriculture, everybody's going to start starving here in a couple months, probably. Famine. Why? Because damn, they got rid of all the workforce. They got rid of Issachar, right? No, ain't nobody picking fruit out there. So you got that, and then you got all this the what's it called, the Doge, funneling money from other sectors and putting it wherever the hell it is that they're putting it at, right? So again, that's just going into and like I said, going into this article, they're upping that the military budget. So that's just them again. Instead of focusing on agriculture, focusing on growth of the country, they're focusing on military weapons, right? Tools for war. So it just shows you what times we're living in, man. That shows you the mindset of these countries, of these nations. You want to say something, Mike?
Con, did you want me to run that verse back with the plowshares?
Con.
Con, this is Joel chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Right. And that's what we're seeing right now. Let the weak say I'm strong, right? China, now is puffing itself up. They ain't gonna be bullied like they used to. They ain't taking America's shit no more, man. Canada is standing up against America, right? And we're gonna start seeing more and more. You had North Korea years back, talking shit to America, and North Korea is a small ass little country. That just shows you how far America has fallen. America is no more that. I mean, even though they are the dominant force of the earth, but really, America's military right now is a shame onto America. It's a laughing stock. There was a video. I believe you remember this, Yawam. There was a video on TikTok comparing the military of China, Russia, and then they compare it to America. Over here, man, motherfuckers over here doing TikTok dances. You know what I'm saying? Shaking the ass, twerking right, and shit. And then over there, they're over here doing push-ups, crawl push-ups, and breaking goddamn bricks with their fucking heads and arms, man.
Right. Can I even
huh?
So like, you go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just like you said, these people over here in these other countries, they're prepared for war, man. They're waiting for the chance to fuck up these Americans, man. But you got it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, pretty much like when you look at they're increasing their defense budget, all right, in these other countries, but you have places like America where they can't really retain people, and they also can't recruit people. So essentially, that draft is going to have to be enacted, and right, also, you got to where Trump just fired thousands of people. So um, it's not really going to be anybody here, to, like you said, drive the workforce, so everything's going to be, overworked. All right. It's already to where, that this country is in debt right now. America is pretty weak,
Mm-hmm.
That's why the scriptures say. I'm going to get this real fast. This is, Zayah Ramya. This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 37. And it says, a sword is upon their houses, excuse me, a sword is upon their horses and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. This place is ultimately becoming like women, And when you go into that word, the definition for woman, uh, in First Peter 3:7, all right, it mentions how women are the weaker vessel, and it says weaker, mentally, morally, physically, literally, and figuratively. On all fronts. So America is weaker on all fronts. It's becoming weaker.
Mm-hmm. That's right. This place is done. It's over, man. The American dream, the American lifestyle, all this shit is on its way out. You know, the scriptures talk about, in Second Peter, the third chapter, right? As a matter of fact, let me get that. This is what's waiting America. This is Second Peter 3 and verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." So everything you see before you is gonna melt. It's gonna be eviscerated, man. There's gonna be nothing left. But it says the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So everything. There's gonna be no remembrance of this place. All right. So that just shows you, what the Most High has determined upon this place. As a matter of fact, let me get Zephaniah, the third chapter, verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination, excuse me, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger." So how's the Most High going to do that? First and foremost, through Yahweh Shah and the angels, but secondly through his army, which part of his army is the ICBM missiles, right? And 200,000 nuclear warheads that's going to hit America. That's all part of the Most High's military, the Most High's army, right? So again, just showing you that these warheads that these heathen, that Esau and the heathen have created, they're going to be used, right? But it says, "For all the earth shall be devoured in the fire of my jealousy." All right, and like we mentioned, we're entering into World War III, right? And as it says in Isaiah the 9th chapter, I'm gonna get this. Isaiah 9:5. It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." What's this talking about? It's talking about the third woe, that World War III, right? Because as you see what's going on right now, people don't really fight on the ground, boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Or like they did in during the 1700s, right? Lined up and they all had muskets and they shot, and people had cannonballs and all this shit. Nah, or with swords. Back in the ancient world, they had swords and they all charged in and what I'm saying, piled up in one certain spot. People yelling and all this shit. Nah, this time it's just gonna be you. People gonna be pushing buttons, remote control shit, drones. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're using now. What's it called? Uh, pretty much what the missiles have. You know what it's called? The
The
tracing.
warheads.
Yeah, but pretty much like the targeting. I forgot what it's called. But pretty much they have like a target system where it's just gonna hit wherever you put in the coordinates. Boom, it's gonna hit that exact spot.
Right. Like going pursuant to, I believe it's in Joel the second chapter. You want me to grab that?
Con, you can get that.
Because pursuant to Joel, the second chapter, you got. Actually, I'm gonna read this first, and then I'll touch on it if you want me to.
Con.
This is Joel chapter 2 and verse 7. It says, "They shall run like mighty men; they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another; they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded." So ultimately going into how they are going to be directed and not it's not going to knock into each other like on X-Men. They got a weapon called, or they have rounds called like artillery. And the U.S. military, they got artillery rounds, and like when they shoot them off, essentially it has like certain coordinates, and it doesn't go. It has a certain effective range. All right, and with that effective range, essentially you could put in the coordinates for it to go to the spot that you want to go to. So if it's that on a smaller scale, how much more so for the army of the Lord. So these are
Right.
going to be. It's just going into the preciseness. All right, being that again, that we had the example that I just mentioned in the spirit. You got the artillery rounds. All right, those are precise. You see, but these said it's not going to break their ranks, and none of them are going to strike each other. All right, essentially, it's going to be super precise. It's going to have accurate precision. Going back to that sword in Ezekiel the 21st chapter, because it said a sword is sharpened. With a sword, with a sword you can make super precise cuts. You see, so tying it into Joel chapter 2, these are going to be very precise. All right, it's not going to strike each other. It's not going to, miss the intended target. It's going to go specifically where the Lord wants it to go.
Hmm. That's right. The spirit of the Lord is going to be upon them. The spirit of the Lord is going to guide them to their exact mark, right? And like I said, it's going to be 200 million warheads. It's going to be hitting America, the soils of America. This place is going to be completely wasted, like the scriptures talk about. The Most High is going to sweep it with the besom of destruction. He's going to sweep it with that broom of destruction, right? This place is going to be completely cleansed. It's going to be swept up to the point where all is going to be left, like the scriptures talk about. It's going to be a desert. It's going to be a wasteland. Nothing but what does it say? I can't even remember how it goes. Pretty much nothing but like wicked spirits or something like that's going to be in that place.
Come on, in Babylon,
Yeah.
God, in Isaiah 13.
Let me see. Let me get it. You got it.
God, this is Isaiah 13 and verse 19. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged."
Right. So pretty much nothing but desert creatures is going to be living here. Right. It's going to be a complete desert. When you watch that movie Mad Max, right? When this place is complete wasteland, that's exactly what you're going to see. No greenery, just nothing but sand, desert, right? And it's all going to be because of the ICBM missiles, right? So this is what the Most High has intended uh, to come to pass here in America. Ain't no peace, ain't no prosperity. All that is done and over with, man. All right, America's time is up. It's had its time. Now it's like scriptures talk about. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and we're at the end of this man's kingdom. So we should be rejoicing at the fact that we ain't gonna have to, you know, deal with this man no more. Jake wants justice and peace. Well, this is the justice and peace that's being afforded unto you. You going over here marching in justice and peace, you ain't gonna get no peace. How you gonna ask your oppressor, for justice and peace. That doesn't make no damn sense, man. But this is the peace. By this means is how peace is going to be enacted on the planet Earth, right? By the way of war. And this is going to be the war to end all wars. Because after this war, no nation is going to know war. There's going to be no need for war. The elect are going to have the kingdom, right? Through first and foremost Yahweh Shah, and we're going to have spiritual power. There's going to be no need for war, man. It's going to be get down or lay down, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the new. That's going to be the real new world order, right? Under Yahweh Shah in righteousness. Okay, so that was pretty much it. I don't know if you had anything else.
Nah.
Khan. So with that, we pray this lesson was edifying. We're going to go ahead and close it out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and blessings unto the hopeful elect, pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Until the next time, we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.